Hello, everybody. 1 second. Just trying to get my screen together. Hi, here I am. Good evening. Y'all, come on in. We started right on time. We're going to do things differently in 2026, be more consistent. Welcome to Kingdom Atlanta Live. For those that have not seen the show, I'll introduce myself. I'm Cheryl Merritt. I am Chief Kingdom Ambassador of Kingdom Atlanta, and I'll get into a little bit more of that once we get into the show. But I do want to say that many of you have probably received emails, seen some of my posts, and especially on social media. And I put a call to action that said, "The kingdom has need of thee." Kingdom Atlanta, we are a mobilization platform, and we are galvanizing people in the city, in the region, actually, to show up and support. Like, aren't you tired of watching the news and seeing another program cut? Inflation, healthcare going up, just all these uncertainties. And yes, it's, concerning, but there's a solution, and we are the solution. So what Kingdom Atlanta is intending to do and will do is galvanizing the resources. And that's us as people that have different skill sets, that are professionals in our fields, and also those that want to give just to meet immediate needs. We're going to meet the needs with speed. So without further delay, I am going to introduce to you my special guest this evening. Let me bring her to the stage out of the green room. There she is, Miss Doll Avant. Hello,
Hey,
Doll.
I'm so happy to be here. How you doing, Cheryl? What's going on?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm so happy to have you here as well, Doll. It's like, wow, this is answer prayer, really. But yeah, I'm so excited, you guys. I'm gonna try. I don't even know if I can. I'm gonna do a brief introduction, but Doll is the people's coach, and she'll get into that a little bit. She is a TEDx speaker. She is the founder of Aquagenuity. She's a Harvard data scientist. And I'm sure I'm leaving off a couple of things. She's been featured in, I don't know everything, but she was Google's International Woman of Water. So as we get into more of the show, you'll learn more about Doll. But I brought Doll on today because she has what got me all together with my Kingdom Atlanta platform. Many of you know, especially many of my friends that are watching. If you knew, you may not know. I really had this vision for a while, and I've done different things throughout the years, off and on, but I haven't been as consistent as I needed to be. Um, when I met Doll at a place that shall not be named, she was just giving of her time and sewing into entrepreneurs. And I really just saw a difference once I really started working with her. And she's no joke now. You can't come in her sessions half stepping, because she's gonna put you on the spot. She's gonna make you give you a pitch. What is that? What? She gonna make you do it
What we talking
again.
about? What we doing? All of that.
What we doing? So without further delay, I am going to go ahead and Doll. Let's see. How do I want to jump in today? I wrote some questions. Of course, I probably won't even follow them, but I thought that maybe, because I did put a call out, and I want people that are entrepreneurs, those that have business ideas, those that may have started and stalled like I had before. I really wanted them to get something. It's the start of January. A lot of people are making plans now. So what would you say, first off, Doll? Because I named this mentorship, right? However, you're more of a coach.
Yes.
Can you start off just talking about first the difference between a mentor and a coach? I think
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great question. Great way to start. Happy 2026, not New Year, everybody. We outside with it. So there's a difference between a mentor, an advisor, and a coach, right? And
Okay.
I've been telling people, first of all, I'm not your therapist. Like, don't get on the call with me and be telling me, child, all the reasons why. I told you to let that ninja go. I told you, don't bring that when you're talking to somebody. When you look for a coach, you find somebody who's been where you're trying to go, somebody who can break it down for you. It's like, okay, like when you go in the gym, okay, spread your feet too close together, put them further apart, turn your wrists, do it like this, do it again, do it again. A coach is going to help you get better at the skills and master the game, right? A mentor is like somebody who, when they they let you come in the energy. So it's like you might shadow them around, you're leaning in with them, and just kind of being in the energy of somebody. Okay, they're a CEO, they run their company or something like that. I don't have time. You ask me, can I come sit in your office? No, you cannot. Like, I'm not a mentor, right? Or like when you coach, like mentor rather, like young people, stuff like that. They just need a good example. Okay, an advisor is like when they do this, like it's a little bit better than when they do like these fireside chats, and they want to tell you their experience, right? So maybe they have experience in your industry or your field or something like that, but they can't really give you necessarily what you need to be doing. A coach is going to get you together. A coach is like, okay, this is how the game works. We're looking at the game film based on how you've been performing. You need to change this, do that, do this, do that. A coach is going to get right in there with you and help you make the adjustments that you need to make to get where you're trying to go. So that's what I do. I'm a coach. I'm the people's coach.
What is a common mistake that you've seen most entrepreneurs make?
Well, it's not even like, oh, there's so many. This is very, very simple. They skip steps on what I call a roadmap. That's an entrepreneur's roadmap, 9-step proprietary framework. Because she told y'all, I built a company, started with an idea in my mind, and it turned into something that's been valued by the largest private equity firm in the world at $1 billion. I didn't do it. I didn't say it. Google, Apple, Amazon, these people, some of them invested in my company, like SoftBank. They made Uber, Slack, and WeWork into $1 billion companies. They invested in opportunity. They said, you got next, right? So I'm out here doing this thing. They call me the pitch queen. I'm gave a TED talk. It went viral. We outside with it all the way. Got an office in Switzerland, the whole thing. And so people were asking me when I speak, they say, how are you doing this? So I said, well, how am I doing this? I reverse engineered it, and that's the roadmap. So it's 9 steps. I don't care if it's for-profit, nonprofit, what your idea, what your industry is. This is how you go from having an idea in your head to an asset that's actually paying you money and doing what it's supposed to do. So the number one thing that people do wrong is they skip steps on the roadmap. And what does that mean? It's like there's a recipe. It would be like if you're trying to cook a pound cake, and it's like, okay, I know it's supposed to have flour, egg, sugar in it, and some vanilla extract, So you take the egg, crack it, put it in a bowl, dump the flour in there, and just put it in the oven. And then 350. I know 350. Turn it on 45 minutes, take it out. Then you like put some sugar on top of that, and then dump some vanilla extract on there. And you're like, ta-da, it's not a cake. Because why? You did it out of order. You're skipping steps. So that's the number one mistake I see people make. It's like you got the ingredients, you got something in your business. I got this idea, God gave it to me. I know I'm supposed to be doing something. But just because you have the ingredients don't mean you're putting them together the right way. So another way to think about that is like, if you have the letter O, the letter D, and the letter G, it's something very different to say GOD versus DOG. So most people are skipping steps, doing things out of order in their business. And then that's why they're not making consistent money.
And which leads to frustration and people, making the decision, oh, this isn't for me, when really, since they've done it out of order, it's not working.
Exactly. And they're crashing out, they burning through their savings, they fight with this house and falling out and all of that. And then people go one of two ways with it. Either they're like, oh, I'm going to just go back and get a job. Now you got this big gap in your resume for all these years that you've been, hustling and did nothing work. Or you're like, I'm going to persist. Like, I'm not going to quit. All this advice we get on Instagram. Some of y'all need to quit. Like, sometimes we need to bag back and like recalibrate what it is we're even working on. But you don't know if you don't have, kind of a guide or a roadmap. So your intuition is like your internal GPS. But then, like I said, you need somebody who's been where you're trying to go. And that's what the roadmap is.
And starting with the basics, like I remember you encouraged us first. You got to talk to people. You got to share, what it is. And you got to have these conversations instead of jumping to building a logo. you know, that's definitely out of step. And that was one of the things that really resonated with me. I feel like for me, because I had the vision for Kingdom Atlanta for so many years, I had conversations with people, you know, about it and asked them what they thought it was, let them hear what I said it was, got different people jumping in at different times. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I had a good number of those conversations under my belt, but you can always learn more and you can always grow and you can always fine tune. And it does help you, you know, fine tune your pitch when you have these conversations with these people instead of just conversations with yourself.
Absolutely. We stay in our head entirely too much. We're doing a lot of planning and waiting and hoping and preparing and getting ready to get ready and all of that. You know, we want to do a logo and we want to hire graphic designers and pay thousands of dollars for a website. And, you know, we got time to write a 55-page business plan. I'm like, what are we planning? We haven't talked to any humans. We don't know. You have an idea, but you have to test it in the market. Like entrepreneurship is just a game, like concentration. Like we just got to match this energy, this idea that you have and see what the market says about it, right? And then based on what those people say, then you go to the next step. But if you haven't talked to any humans, people spending thousands of dollars and they haven't talked to any people to even see if that's something they want to buy, it's a big deal. Absolutely.
So I'm really just going to let you run with this show because, you know, I'll ask another question and then I'm going to let you just share because I know what you have to offer the Kingdom Atlanta folks is so valuable. My questions are just probably minimizing.
I like your questions, guy. Don't stop.
Okay. But yeah. Okay. What, let's talk about this and we can go back into, you know, it's 2026, you know, like I mentioned with Kingdom Atlanta, you know, I definitely know that the time for this is now because of, you know, what I mentioned, things that are going on. However, I do see that, you know, this can be a solution. Yes. And so my pitch is to let people know, hey, there is a solution. Here's what we can do together. Why is this time so critical for people, entrepreneurs, those with business ideas, inventors, disruptors? Why is right now so important? And what should we be doing first?
For such a time as this, you know, yes. Y'all, I don't know what to tell you. So we're going to have a code word just between us. I mean, I just did it on my live a minute ago, but our code word is Venezuela. Okay. When I say Venezuela, that stands for every possible bad scenario that could come out of what's going on. They talking about Colombia, you got it cut, you can get it too. Cuba, you know, Canada, Mexico, Nigeria, Iran. Like, listen, this is what I'm going to say, because I don't be talking crazy outside. This is what I'm going to say. Read your history, okay? Listen, look at what happened when in the 1930s, okay? When Europe just started being taken over by somebody who was like, we outside and because I can. That changed the whole world. We're at a moment like that right now. The whole global financial system is about to reset. The middle class is going away. Okay, I'm a Harvard-trained historian and economist. I'm not just talking. I tell you something. I read the book. I'm telling you, I've got friends and mentors who are billionaires who have been telling me for several years what people are doing, and they're like, "Yeah, that's why we got a compound in Argentina. That's why we out the way. They already out the way." If you are an entrepreneur, if you are somebody that you have a vision, like you say, God gave you something, I want you to understand that He was preparing you for this time so that you and your family can get out the way and be okay. So it's not enough for us. Come on, Kendrick, it's not enough for us to just sit around talk about, you know, yeah, I know I got this business and, you know, oh yeah, 2026 going to be my year. You know, we fasting right now. People fasting. It's January, you know, doing all of this. But you know, by Martin Luther King Day, you already going to be back to your old habits and your old ways and stuff. Like, we don't have time. You have got to get you some cash flow. This is what I call the calm method. This is how we're going to stay calm in the midst of it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of America. It's just the end of America as we know it. Okay, the end of the global financial system post World War II. You know, we figured out last year that civil rights was a bubble. The bubble has burst. Okay, did they outlaw DEI? Is that how do you hold on? You know, like, listen, things are going to get different. So if you have a vision or something like that, a calling, what you're supposed to be doing. I wrote it down 10 years ago and all that stuff. You need to move, because that was spirit. That was God. That was intuition telling you what to do so you can be okay, you and your family. And it's not going to get better. It's not going back to normal. It's not like, oh, well, wait till the next election. Like, y'all, it's not 1985. We've got to move. We got to get out the way. So to keep calm, get your business cash flowing. So you have enough money, take care of your bills, what you need to do. And you have some extra, get you some crypto, get you some things that are gold or whatever that's going to outpace inflation. Don't just have all your money in US dollars, because ain't nobody I'm telling you, if nobody around you is talking like this, I'm telling you on tonight, I'm speaking from the seat of the ancestors, and I'm telling you, you need to get you some money that's not just sitting in USD, not just sitting in your Truist, okay? You need to move. You need to get you do something. If you don't know what to do, get in the dollhouse. I talk like this all the time. Put your own game. Okay. That's the first thing. You need some cash flow. So if you have a business or something like that you've been doing, maybe you still got a job, but you got something on the side, you need to start cash flowing so that you could purchase a CALM. So cash flow. So you could purchase you some assets, things that are going to outpace inflation, things that you can hold and will increase in value over time, so that then you can leverage those assets to fund your lifestyle and all of that stuff. So you can then move out the way of what's coming out here in these streets. If we don't get it together, the social safety net is gone. Everything they did from the 1930s to the 1960s to all of that, y'all see it. It's happening in real time. It's gone. So if you get a medical bill that you can't pay, if you get behind on your rent and you outside, it's homeless to be legal now. It's illegal, to be homeless now. Like they can come you up, put you in one of these detention camps that they keep building. They don't have time to pay people's Medicare, but they got time to build detention centers. Okay, I'm not being dramatic. I'm telling you what's already in motion. So we, as a community, as a collective, have to be in a position where we have, we're in a place of abundance. So there's 5 levels of wealth. The lowest level 1, is like not enough, where you don't know how you're gonna pay your bills every month. You living by miracles. It's like, I don't know. I hope something, child, I don't know. And then level 2 is just enough. So like sufficiency. So like your bills are right here, your money's right here, and you just keeping your head above water, making it way when we can. Okay. Level 3 is what I use the word abundance. And so that can be your bills are $800 and you make $1,000. You got $200 in extra. Okay. What most people do when they get to level 3 is they just increase, get the bigger card note, the bigger cable package, which drops you back down to level 2, right? Mm-hmm. If you have abundance, any extra, maybe it's 10,000, whatever your extra is, you can now be strategic. It puts you in a position to make choices. And one of the things that we can do at that juncture, and certainly you get to riches level 4, which is having way more. You do all the stuff you want to do, buy the house you want to buy, you take care of your mama, buying gifts, and you still got extra. Level 5 is wealth, that you're building a system. Wealth is not, for my deep spiritual people, wealth is not, I woke up this morning and I got breath in my body, and all of that. I got fruit trees in my backyard. Yes, but we have been co-opted by a capitalistic system. So in this system, you need you some money. I'm not talking about spiritual wealth. And when I get to heaven and the streets are paved with gold, these streets right here are asphalt. Okay, this is asphalt. You cannot be the light of the world and you can't pay your light bill. Like, we got to stop being deep and start walking in our calling as people of God, spiritual people, enlightened people, conscious people, all the things. Okay, so once you get to a place where you have abundance, like a little bit more than you need just to live and survive, that's where you do what I call the AAA plan. So 50% of your income, no more than that, should be like your current lifestyle. That's your altitude, like where your lifestyle level, where you live. No more than 20% needs to go towards your attitude. That's what, like, how you feel. Like, I just want to have Netflix and HBO and all the streaming, Hulu and ESPN, everybody. Why you spend $150 on streaming? I don't know, but if that's what you want to do, that's fine. No more than 20%. There, juicy crab, and you want to DoorDash 3 times a day and all that kind of stuff. Some of y'all need to cut it out. But anyway, keep that below 20% of your income and take at least 30% and invest it towards your aptitude. That's like investing in skills. People keep talking about the job market is changing and what if my career goes away and all of that. Well, learn some AI, get you investing in that we talking about. Do something, some investments, some cryptos, something, XRP. Do something. Get you out the way so you can be okay in these streets. Like, we got to start thinking about money differently. And part of that extra, that overflow, right? Your cup should be overflowing. Part of that extra is what we can do with platforms like Kingdom Atlanta, where we can actually join our resources like they did in the book of Acts and take care of community. Come on, community.
Yes.
The government is not coming. Superman is not coming. He's not coming. He's not coming. We've got to move differently as a people, as a unit, you know what I'm saying? And I need us to have some extra. So it's not a stretch. It's not like, oh, I would help, I would support child, but I ain't got no food myself. I would try to make sure that, my baby's all right. Like, can we as a unit, as people, can we rise? Can we be beyond that? Rise means to reset your identity and seek expansion. We're supposed to be fruitful, multiply, all the stuff. We're supposed to, you know what I'm saying, go out here and take dominion and all the things, Where's that energy? What are we doing? We cannot without capitalism and this system. Capitalism was not built for us, it was built on us. We don't have time to continue to stay in this energy that they had us in at least 400 years. That's what they say. I don't know what happened before 1619. Somebody rewrote the history books. I can't tell you. All I know for sure, somebody I'm gonna get you some cash flow. Like, we just got to move differently and use our extra. Take care of. We see what's going on. You driving down the street, you can't even go on the freeway. People all outside. Like, this is no. Where's the humanity? It's humanity over everything for me. That's like a mantra. So we should have enough abundance so we can go and take care of our community. We can build the schools and the hospitals when they start defunding all these programs. That we can get the schools together. Like, let's go. Like, it can't be one billionaire that look like us and one over here and one over there. Y'all see they playing in Hollywood. Hollywood is dead. They not doing what they need to do with the money. What if it was hundreds of thousands of us that had tens of millions of dollars and hundreds of millions of dollars? Our communities would look different. And that's why I love the mission of what you're building, Cheryl, with Kingdom Atlanta, because it's like, make it easy for me to support. Maybe I can't take all my time and go out in the community, but you are. So I could contribute to what you got going on, which means let me have some extra so I could do that and help somebody. Maybe I have a service or, I know how to help people get jobs or workforce development or something. When we all come together, everybody gets taken care of. That's Ubuntu. You know what I'm saying? That's before capitalism was us all coming together. We understood humanity. I am because you are. My humanity is inextricably linked to yours. So, like, duh, of course I'm gonna take, like, that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's uncle. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you're not just gonna be outside and I'm good. Like, we all should be good. And I think that's ingrained in our DNA, especially people of color. And it's just like, the fact that you're building a platform that makes it easy for us to get back to that, I think is really amazing.
Thank you, doll. And I know I shared with you, like, part of the impetus was, I've been in a situation where I didn't have enough, or I saw where I needed some assistance and didn't really know where to go. But, just even being downtown and seeing people, eating out of trash cans and, cold, just sitting there and staring at people walking by. And it's very disheartening when if one person did one meal for one person, it would make a big difference. And I just feel like that's what is on my heart to do. Absolutely. And I believe that it can make a difference, even in the people that have, stepped up to say, yeah, I want to help, whether it's, I want to contribute financially, and you do it, like I've got some toys for some kids over the holiday because somebody donated. I bought some blankets to just have in the car. Right. So it's readily available. When I pass somebody, I don't have to be like, oh, I got it in my car, to just pass it to them, So it's just things like that. But I also have professionals like a pharmacist that stepped up to say, hey, yeah, I want to be able to provide some help for somebody who may be going through a crisis during this situation where they may not be able to afford their health care now.
Absolutely.
You know, somebody that may want to provide some holistic help, somebody that may be a dentist that wants to serve somebody that can't afford, you know, dental care or whatever.
Right.
And so I'm not just galvanizing physical, but the skill sets of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very important that people understand that that's the mission of Kingdom Atlanta, that it's not just one-sided, and it's also doing it at a level of speed. Like, yeah, United Way and other places, they do these things, but United Way is not riding down the street with me when I see somebody cold, and I can't call and say, oh, somebody cold right here. Can somebody bring a blanket? If I got the blanket, I'm the solution, right?
That's powerful.
So I'm galvanizing solution, people that have the solution instead of waiting on one. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that and saying that.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I know has really been helpful to us, or me, and I know my sister, because she's also part of the Dollhouse, is like the challenges that you give us, like the 100-day challenge, or, you know, just things that we need to do to step up our game. You want to kind of talk a little bit about some of that to help people?
The 100-day challenge came about because y'all remember that time when Kamala just all of a sudden she was running for president, just right. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, what are we doing? And when she got in there, I think the name of her book is 107 Days. She had just over 100 days to run the campaign from scratch and try to, you know, make it to the White House. And at that time, you know, in my group, the mastermind, we were like, I said, wait a minute, if she got to run the race of her life in 100 days, what if we were to do that? What if you were to give 100% of your best effort, 100% of the time for 100 days? How would your life be different? What if you were to follow your intuition, follow your spirit 100% of the time for 100 days? Do you think you would be closer to your goals? Do you think things would get different in your life, your family, your business, right? So we did the 100-day challenge. Then she didn't win. We already know the country went left. Everybody was crying. People upset. Okay, that's fine. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm pro-humanity. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we got to figure it out. So you know how they always have a new president and then they do the inauguration and then they count 100 days, his first 100 days in office. So I was like, oh, it's time to go again. We're going to do another 100-day challenge. So we and people were hitting goals and doing what they needed to do and moving. It just shifts your mindset when you set yourself up to eliminate excuses. It's just like when you do a fast or something. It's like, I'm clearing the energetic field and I'm going to do something that's different from what I normally do. And we did another one last fall, and then we just started the next one, 100-day challenge, January 1st. And this time I'm actually filming it, recording it. So there's replays and stuff. If you get in the Dollhouse, you could get access to it. Because once I finish this one, it's going to turn into a book. This is a system that is designed to take you from having this idea, you've been talking about it for years. Oh my God, I know I'm supposed to be doing this, to making $5,000 to $10,000 a month in said business in 100 days. Not playing no games. We got to get her in these streets. We're going to talk to real humans, but it's giving you a framework that's proven. I'm teaching you how to do your pitch, what I call a 5-star pitch. It's the same way that I taught that I raised $2 million in venture capital. At the time that I did that, less than 50 Black women ever, anywhere on planet Earth ever, had raised more than $1 million from venture capitalists for technology. I'm telling you how I did it. Like, here you go. This is what, step by step. You know, we do group coaching every Thursday night at 6 o'clock, 6 to 9. I'm outside in the Dollhouse. We are having conversations about what's really going on in this economy that I can't say in these YouTube streets, but I'll say it over there so that you won't be caught off guard. So you can go tell your family. I feel like I'm giving, they call me Harriet Tubman. You know, I'm out here just like, hey, y'all, we need to go this way. Like, we need to move. So I work really hard to create a space where we can start to, like I said, deprogram from the old ways of thinking. Like, where else can we have these kind of conversations? Where else can we be invited? You know, I hold space for us to show up as the greatest, highest version of ourselves. Because I truly believe in this life, you don't get what you want. You get who you are. So where do we ever get that feedback and that community and that safe space to become that version of ourselves, right? It's like caterpillar, cocoon, and everybody want to be a butterfly, but where's the cocoon? Like, this is that safe space where we can learn and try and step out and come back. And what about this? And dog, what do you think about, and you get that feedback, and then we start helping each other. And did you think of this? And then we meet up, we do live from time to time. Like, it's literally, I mean, my name is Dog, but it's like a house. Like, if you could come over and hang out, we're on the back porch, we got barbecue, we got food, we chilling. But also, we're gonna talk about some things, and everybody's gonna get together. And maybe everybody not gonna make it, but the ones who are committed and locked in to the dollhouse, I see the shifts, I see the changes, I see people making money, I see people's confidence shift, right? I see people who've been talking about something for years, and then they start moving differently. Like, I'm just here to help us change our frequency so we can do what it is we said we were going to do, so we can be all right in these entrepreneurial streets.
That led me to, when you just said that, that made me think, how important is it for us to be outside on social media and wherever we are, and to have this digital footprint? Can you talk about that?
Yes. Well, in this day and age, it's more important than ever, because a lot of us are going to have intuition is telling us to leave the country. Like, I'm not making this up. This is y'all telling me this, right? Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I've been looking around, Portugal seems nice this time of year. Like, I'm hearing that from a lot of people that look like me. And so I'm just like, okay, but you can't move to the other side of the city, let alone the other side of the world right now. Like, what are we talking about? So being on social and having a community of people who rock with you, who are following your thought leadership, who know, like, and trust you, who have built a relationship and a rapport with you, that, like I said, they might be on the other side of the world, but digitally, doing that digitally allows you to move anywhere and still be able to monetize that group, still be able to make money, support your family and your lifestyle. Like, this device right here, our phones, these supercomputers in our pockets, just like we said at the beginning, for such a time as this, just as bad as I'm telling you, it's getting, a code word Venezuela, just like, things that are coming is anyway, just as bad as the bad can sound, it's also the greatest wealth transfer in human history right now. You literally can hit a button for free and broadcast to the entire world. That's never happened in the history of humans ever. So the only thing standing between you and building a community, you don't need millions of followers. You don't need all these vanity metrics. You just need a group of people who are rocking with you, who agree with your worldview, who show up when you say move, they show up. Like, they got the same, goals and things like that, and you're adding real value to them. A community means people who have a shared emotional response to a common thing. And everybody can build community, and social media is an amazing way to do that. LinkedIn is one of the most underutilized platforms still right now. 90% of people who have a LinkedIn profile, they go through there and they look at everybody else posts talking about, look, I got a promotion and all that, but they don't post on LinkedIn. That means the algorithm is looking for you, is waiting for you. That means that if you post on LinkedIn and start to add real value, you're still going to get a lot of engagement from your network. But still do it on YouTube. You could build community on Instagram. I would be outside. If you want to kind of press the gas on your business or on your ministry, your platform, things that you're building, social media is the way to do it. And listen, I hate social media. I need to be in a class, in a community. I need to start a t-shirt line called I Hate Social Media. Like, I don't want to be doing all of that. But I know that in this moment in history, we need to be outside. We need to digitize our brilliance. And that's also how you play this video game of entrepreneurship. So level 1 of the video game is your net. That's how you pitch. That's how you talk about your work. That's going one-to-one, talking to humans. Go talk to somebody every day. Hug somebody, tell them that you love what we doing in church, all of that. We need to talk to some humans and get some feedback on what we got going on and what we're trying to build. That's one-to-one. Level 2 is network. That's when we get in motion. That's when we get momentum around what we're doing. That's when you start going one to many. So social media is one of the great ways to go one to many, to actually start, like I said, digitizing your brilliance and talking to more people at the same time about what you do. So now that you know what works, because you've talked to enough people one-to-one, let's go one-to-many on social. And so people who don't want to get on social, level 3, by the way, is mastery. That's where you actually understand what's working and you systematize it in your business so it becomes predictable. You know how much money you're going to make every week, every month, like that. But most people don't want to get on social, and they make all kind of excuses for, oh, I don't really have time. Oh, it's too crowded. Oh, it's too much noise out there. Da, 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 da. But at the end of the day, I've coached thousands of entrepreneurs. I'm an expert in residence for one of the programs at Harvard Innovation Labs. And I'm telling you right now that the real reason why most people are not on social, 99%, is fear. And if y'all Christians and some people, quoting the Bible and all of this, God has not given us a spirit of fear. Come on, somebody, listen, you don't want to look crazy. You don't know what to say. You don't want to show up and nobody show up. You don't want to do live and 2 people on there. You don't want to do a Zoom and don't nobody come. You want to go through the messy part. Okay. But I'm not going to call the name, a ministry that's one of the largest ones in the world. 20,000 people every Sunday, several services. I would be on stage when we were streaming to the ones all over, the churches all over in the network all over the world, 100,000 people every week that we were singing in front of, doing the worship and all of that. And they started with 8 people in a cafeteria, and 4 of them he was related to. So y'all don't want to go through the Bible says, okay, do not despise small beginnings. Like we just got to get past our fear. And I don't know where we got this thing from. Who said it? Whoever said it is wrong. They say fear is false evidence appearing real. That's not what fear is. Fear is focusing your emotional energy, attention on a reality that you don't desire. That's what fear is. You're too busy worried about who's watching, what are they going to think about me? What if nobody comes? I don't know what to say. All of that, instead of, I have this idea. I know it's a calling. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm showing up. I'm going to put the bat signal out, if you will, and I'm going to build momentum and get outside. Once you make that decision, start showing up, then find you a coach. Find you somebody who's been where you're trying to go. If you don't know where to go, get in the dollhouse. I have been studying. I went to Harvard. When I was leaving Harvard, Mark Zuckerberg was coming in. I was there when they were talking about what social media was going to be. They made it up. It's all made up. But now the people who own some of these platforms, the owner of like Patreon and some of these folks, people who got millions and millions of followers, these are some of my clients. These are some of my mentors. I've been studying social media for like 4 years. And the algorithm has shifted and all of the things. I done figured it out. You don't have to figure it out from scratch. I'll give you the playbook. Just get it out. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Find your coach, somebody, run the play. Oh, this is what we need to do. Okay. You can run faster. So you can, get some of that, shorten your learning curve, if you will. But critical that we get outside with our message, both so that we can go faster, but also because there's people that actually need you. Like have you ever watched a video on YouTube? It's like, oh my God, this opened up something for me. This really changed my life. It's something that I really needed to know and understand. I feel like it's stingy. I feel like if you got some value or some knowledge or like a calling or whatever, why are we being stingy? Why are we being selfish with the gift, and the calling? Like, hit the button. Just hit the button and talk to your audience and let the ether, let it do what it's supposed to do. But it can't happen if you sitting at the house. You got to put it out there.
That's good, dog. Because even when I do like Kingdom Atlanta Lives or some of my other pop-ups, and once I hit live, even if it, it may show you the little eyeball and it's like 0 people, I just start talking because somebody's going to show up, and whether they show up while I'm live, they watch it later. Right. And even when I was sharing the YouTube link, I was going back through, I was like, wow, I got seasons of Kingdom Atlanta Live. Like I've got some shows. Yeah. And like you said, somebody would see that digital footprint and say, oh, she's had this person on the show. They talked about this on the show. They did this on the show. She's been on there by herself. She's had this guest. So consistency is really important. And it's like you're saying, it's not the season to not be consistent. It's time to ramp it up, to really press and do more than we've ever done before, because the times are calling for it. Absolutely. And I'm pushing myself. Like I have just been, I don't even watch much TV anymore because I really don't have time. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm building something.
Yes.
Like I named this movements need mentorship for momentum. I really could have called it your calling needs a coach,
Come on.
whatever, because you do need somebody. Me and my sister were talking after one of your 12 days of greatness calls, and we were talking about, okay, have you figured out your word or your and I asked her, I said, I need you to be my accountability coach or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we just kind of, keep each other up to date. Like she texts me before the calls, put your link in there. Don't just say go to my YouTube. I'm like, man, they can just go and find it. She's like, put the link. Right. So she's helping me because she's, quicker at stuff and she knows more. But with what I know, I can't be lazy and I can't be selfish. Mm-hmm. And I think I shared this before with you. I feel like sometimes Noah building the ark, like a lot of this stuff was so needed, and it's being built now, and people don't understand the magnitude of why until that storm start hitting and they start trying to get on the boat. Well, I've been trying to build this platform for 2 years, and I asked you and I told you we got this here. So this is a call to everybody now. Like I said it before, and I'll say it again, the kingdom has need of you.
Yes.
And I need you to join me in Kingdom Atlanta. There are many ways to get involved, and I'll get more into that at another time because I still want to pick Doll's brain. Doll, talk about I don't know, as much as you want to talk about either some of the steps on the roadmap or either the five-star pitch, either one of those, just to kind of wet people's whistle to get them excited about it as I am.
Sure. Let's see. Let's talk about the roadmap. Because like I said, the number one mistake that most entrepreneurs make when they start a business, they're like, oh, I got this idea, right? And they get real excited. And it's 2 ways you can go. You either get into the hype of it, you run around telling people, oh, I'm gonna start this business, ooh, and all of that. And that's going to actually take you on a downward spiral, okay? But what we want to do is treat your idea like a hypothesis, okay? We're going to be running experiments. We learned, so the first step on the roadmap is that, principles, understanding that just because you have an idea doesn't mean that's the final form. I got a lot of people who get in trouble. They get into it's really ego driven, but they think, oh no, this is how God gave it to me. So it's, and they just keep trying to do this thing, putting a round peg in a square hole, or I said that backwards, but you know what I'm saying? Instead of understanding that this is an experiment, we don't know what form it's going to take. We just got the download that we got. We know in part, right? So first we got to understand the principles around entrepreneurship. Like, this is all an experiment. Like, all financial capital is social capital. So that's step one on the roadmap. We need to reprogram our thinking, stop showing up like a consumer, like an employee, and expecting entrepreneurship to work that way. It don't work that way. It's a whole different language. The foreign language of money is what we got to learn. So that's number one, principles. Number two, then we talk to humans. Number two, step two is not write a 50-page business plan. Go try to get an investor, trying to get a grant check, and all of this. Like, we're skipping steps. So step two is people. Who are the people that you have? Who are the people in your neighborhood? Who are the people you have proximity to, whose problem you are uniquely positioned to solve? Right? Who can you talk to? Who can you engage with? Who can you actually reach? Who can you eavesdrop and hear the problem state that they're in? And will they listen to you? I have to say that because just because it's a good idea or a good opportunity doesn't mean it's a good business or opportunity for you. Like, the example I always use is a former student of mine. He had this new kind of investment platform or something. He's like, people are making amazing returns, 15, 20% a week or something like that, a month, whatever, something crazy like that. And it was just like, all you got to do is have $10,000 minimum investment and boom, bye. If I sell 10 of these, I make $100,000 a year, problem solved. He was all excited running around. I said, oh, cool. How many people that got $10,000 that they could just afford to risk with your platform? He said, none. I said, this is a terrible business idea for you. He said, why? Because I believe, God showed me this opportunity. I'm going to be persistent and I'm not going to quit it. I said, some people need to quit. I'm telling you that Either you got to go spend some time and build a network of people who trust you enough to talk to you about their financial problems and what they're looking for and their aspirations, and they would trust you with the solution. Or you need to go find a business where the people that you have proximity to have a problem that you are uniquely positioned to solve, and they want to get the solution from you. Another example that I use is like when we with Black women, you know, our hair is different. Okay, what if it was a man in Poland who came down and said, I have the solution, the product, something that's going to do some amazing thing to all Black women's hair everywhere. Most of us will be like, it don't matter if it work or not. We're not receiving our hair advice from the man from Poland. Like it's not what we're doing. So you have to find people who are positioned, like the frequency has to match. There has to be an energetic frequency alignment. Okay. Like when they want to hear more from you. Okay. Can you build an audience of people whose problem you are uniquely positioned to solve? So, and right in there in the roadmap, that's where we start the 7 C's of social capital, because there is a process by which something goes from an idea in your head to something real that everybody's heard of, like Nike. It's a process, just like E equals MC squared. This is physics. Okay. This is not scientific. It's not my opinion. This is how creation works. Okay. When it comes to capitalism, this is how you connect humanity with capitalism. And so you start out with this concept, and then you have to make your hypothesis about what your content needs to be. That's like how you pitch your 5-star pitch. We go into that. It's what needs to be on your website, because it's not just whatever corporate language you come up with, right? What needs to be in your how you show up for people, all of that. It's a hypothesis about that content. Then you start having these conversations, these 50 humans that you just go out here and talk to, real people, one-to-one, to get some feedback going, right? Then you build a cadence. And that's when we get into step 3 on the roadmap. That is where you host conversations like you're hosting tonight about the problem and about the solution you provided. You give people a chance to build community around that. They see you as a thought leader. They understand there's a solution. Somebody's out here building this solution. You start to build a narrative. Your name gets out in these streets. Y'all know they used to talk about Jesus in the Bible. He would go to a town. Before he got there, the reputation, people are, oh, I know a man who's doing this. Your narrative has to be out in the streets before you That's level 3 of the video game, many to many. Like other people are talking about your story. So you got to tell your story. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. And that's the cadence. And that's where social media comes in. That's where you're doing your live Zooms. You build a community. You got podcasts. You got your email newsletter. All these tactics that we think of, but we don't understand the principles of why we need these things in our business. You need something for people to build community around. And that's where you host conversations about the problem and also your solution. Then step 4 is where we get into your positioning. This is where you kind of perfect that pitch, that 5-star pitch, and also the product. What is it that you're actually offering? Because I know a lot of people, they're trying to sell somebody something that they don't want to buy. It's like, yeah, I don't really need that, but I do need this. Like solve the problem that somebody's actually willing to pay you for. And the way you figure that out and have enough sales conversations without sounding salesy is the Afro method. It's 2 F's, 2 O's, right? Aspirations, frustrations, your framework. That's that 5-star pitch. You're going to hear me say it over and over again. That's the first system that you have to build in your business. And then that reflection, if they reflect back to you, oh yeah, this sounds like just what I need, they give you emotional language. Then it's like, oh, it sounds like there's an opportunity for us to work together. And then you make your offer. You ain't selling nobody nothing. You're just offering solutions. We don't do hustle. We build these habits. That's the name of my book coming out, The 7 Habits of High Value Entrepreneurs. And we don't do marketing. We start movements. Okay. You just need enough motion, enough people, motion around this platform, this concept that you're building. That gets you to step 5. And that's where I give people a graduation cap. That's where you get to process, meaning I understand exactly how I'm gonna make money in my business. I'm not wondering, I'm not hoping I make money this week, this month, this year. I'm not guessing. Like I know that if I do this, I'm gonna make some money. And most people never get there, but that's where you can start to automate and do all that. And step 6 is where most people start. That's when you write down procedures and business plans and business model canvas and all that kind of stuff. That's what they teach you in business school. That's step 6, but you can't start there, right? That's where you document SOPs and all of that. Step 7, now we're going to get partners, corporate sponsors, we get investors, we doing PR, all of the things that people want to do. You don't start there. Step 8, Public image. We outside. Now we get a fancy website. Now we doing the drone footage and doing commercials and doing all this stuff. I want to run ads and do. You can't start with that, right? And then step 9 is prosperity. That's where we want to take it global, or we want to franchise it, or we want to sell the business, or take it public, and all that kind of stuff. We're turning it into a legacy for our family. All of that is possible, y'all, but only when we don't skip steps. So those are the 9 steps of the Entrepreneur's Roadmap. And I teach this all day, every day now. And I go all the way down the rabbit hole in the dollhouse. I've searched all over. Like I said, I teach this for students, alumni, graduate students, undergrad, as an advisor at Harvard. I've not found anybody teaching like this. They be looking at me like I'm speaking Greek. They're like, oh my God, can you come do this? I've taught this on multiple continents. So like, I'm basically decoding capitalism. They didn't really want to figure this out or like know how it works, because we're supposed to be in the system. We're making somebody else rich. I'm telling you how to flip the system and still preserve your humanity, right? Still be of service to people, but do it in a way that's profitable and sustainable.
And that's what I love about you. I do. That this is amazing. I guess getting ready to try to wrap up, because I like to wrap up within the hour. I want to give a shout out to everybody who joined live. If you found value in this, would you share it with someone so that they can also get value? Because that's what this is all about. Like Dawn said, we don't want to be stingy with information. She definitely is giving her time to us. And so I'm grateful, Dawn, for you being my guest tonight.
Thank you for having me. Now I have a question for you, Cheryl.
Yes.
Tell me how you feel like you've shifted from when I met you, when we first started working together, to how you the clarity you have now around your work, and then tell people how they can engage in Kingdom Atlanta.
Okay. So I feel I have shifted tremendously, understanding that consistency is key, understanding that I have to understand what I'm selling and to be able to package it and position it in a way that people understand it. So for so long, when I first met you, it was really hard to explain what Kingdom Atlanta was. And I mean, it took, I think, a year or more just to get down to where it is now, to be able to say, okay, I have this way you can come in as a professional that wants to provide services, someone that wants to provide goods. We're moving at the speed of the need, come up with that, something catchy so people will understand what's the difference between me and a regular nonprofit or organization. So for that, and just elevating my mindset to know I started at the wrong place. I started with the logo and the colors and all that, and I didn't have all the basics down. But what I am grateful that I did is have like the digital footprint. And so keeping up and understanding, now I got to show up more on social media. I've got to turn the burners on even more this year than I have before. And a lot of people tell you they see me on social media, but it's not always consistent with what I need to be doing. So I would say for that reason, and just understanding that this is a way, a way out and a way up, for me and my family and the things that I would like to accomplish. So for that, it's tremendously helped me. And even just somebody to be as giving as you are. You have a $1 billion evaluated company, and you are finding time to come back and pour into entrepreneurs, your squats, kindreds, Southwest Atlanta, two strong folks. And so how people can get involved, I think that was the next part you asked me, right?
Yes.
Is you can DM me, follow me on social media. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be using this platform more. I did post this. This is also live on my Facebook page, my Instagram, and LinkedIn tonight. Now, something happened to my Kingdom Atlanta Facebook page. So until I figure that out, just follow me, Cheryl Merritt, and I'll make sure that everything's put out there. But I have an immediate need. I will put the link to donate. I keep stuff in my car to pass out to people. If you want to help donate to that, if you're a professional you want to help me build Kingdom Atlanta, whatever it is. You're a dentist, you want to provide services. You're a doctor, you want to provide healthcare. You have a farm, you can give extra things from your farm. Whatever that is, then join the movement, because the time is now and the kingdom has need of thee. And I would surely appreciate it, because it's going to get done.
Yes.
So
you're the ones to do it. That's right.
yes. So thank you for that, doll, and pushing me to answer a question as well.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. I love the community that you're building. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. I'm here for all of this. That's why they call me the people's coach. Like, I tell people this all the time. My board of advisors, they be cussing me out. Like, girl, what are you doing? You supposed to be over here doing this, doing that. I'm like, yeah, but somebody got to come and get the people. I'm here for the people. Whosoever will. You know what I mean? I'm just, I don't feel like I got all this knowledge and exposure and been in these rooms just for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I? So I'm just here to share. I'm here to share.
And you know what, dog? I am glad that we have a community of people, because being in the dollhouse, I think it's also helped me, where people understand, like, we're not in this alone. We all give back. We give our comments, and we talk about how, each other are doing, our calls. They really, I didn't say that in my question, my answer, but our calls have really been beneficial as well, just to get an understanding of other people and what they're going through, and just how to be able to help as well. So I did drop the PayPal donate link in. And also, you can also email me, Cheryl@kingdomatlanta.com. I didn't do any of my little media assets, but it's all good. Let me do one of my little banners right quick.
Yes, come on, banners.
Oh, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Cheryl Merritt. There you go. Okay. And then you can also, follow Kingdom Atlanta on IG and Facebook. And I do have a website, kingdomatlanta.com, that doll is getting me all the way together on. I have to do something and add a landing page to it or some more information, but that is forthcoming. And once again, guess who I am? I'm Cheryl Merritt, your Chief Kingdom Ambassador. This is Doll Avant of the Dollhouse and so many other things. And I just want to thank everybody for joining us live tonight, and have a great night.
See ya.
Bye-bye.